Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Woo, woo. Me and Jill partying up here on a Saturday night. Can you guys see me okay, hear me okay? Everything all good? I took some extra time setting stuff up, so I want to make sure it's good. I love that for us. All good? Jess, Skyfox. Yes, no, Baby Joe. Thank you, Skyfox, for the resub. 20 months. My goodness. That's a lot. I've been streaming for over 2 years now. Crazy to think about it. Wow. And now, Jess, stop it with prime time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Resident Evil 0, we can just, that doesn't count. That's not a real number. Resident Evil 0, that's not real. So we're doing, it's fine. Devan, hello. I am doing well. It's been a good weekend so far. I had Friday off. So I have Friday till Monday off. But Monday I have like a in-service work day. So, but it's been a busy weekend. That's okay, you guys. I know is today technically Easter? Is that what's going on? I know it's like a holiday weekend. Oh, Saiku! Taco Bell! Thank you. Good. Oh, I should turn that off because remember last time I did like a double whammy. I ate it all though. That was wonderful when that happened because I ate all of that McDonald's Shamrock. Thank you, Psych. We got a quesarito, got some cheesy roll-ups, Baja Blast Mountain Dew. All the goodins. Don't change a good thing. But see, Sunday. Yeah, you're right. Sunday's Easter. I don't really do a lot of crazy Easter things anymore, so I'm just staying home, living it up. But hey, y'all, the time has come. It is time to rank these Resident Evil games. I have played and beaten 9 Resident Evil games. They are all laying here with me right now. And Jill, this is Jill. She's seen better days. She was in the 90s game, so she dead. She dead now. She's a zombie. But this is Jill, okay? Jill's here for emotional support, holding my games for me. Let's see. How I figured this is gonna work is I'm going to be talking about all of them from what I remember from them. It goes all the way back to, I wrote it down when I first played Resident Evil Biohazard. That's my first one. My whole Resident Evil journey started February 7th, 2022. So it's been over a year. I've been committing myself to playing and beating these games. My God. With some breaks here and there, but I figured tonight I'd be talking about them from my very first one that I played, which is Resident Evil Biohazard. Resident Evil 7, sorry, that's 7. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, all the way up to my most recent one, okay? So let's go 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Code Veronica. So that's the order it's going to go in, and I'm going to try to give you a synopsis of what happened, how I felt during that game, and then place it on the tier list to see how it's going to go. So full disclosure, I'm no video game reviewer. We all know I'm no Resident Evil expert. I did not grow up playing these games. I grew up watching Dan play maybe a few here and there snippets, so I know some of the iconic stuff, and I understand why people love this game so much and how much they love the remakes, But I come from a different situation. Like I said, started playing these almost a year ago, a little over a year ago. So I didn't grow up playing these with all that nostalgia and ooh, I love scary games. We all know by now I don't do well with scary video games. I don't. I've been working on it. I've gotten better about it. To give you a taste of why me and scary video games don't work well together is because when Dan would play them growing up, watching him play Silent Hill and Resident Evil and all these other games scared the shit out of me. A little elementary school girl watching her high school brother play these scary ass video games fucking blew my mind. I hated it. It scared the shit out of me. Couldn't sleep with the light off because of them. So this is how pitiful I was when it came to scary games. I couldn't even play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time because the skeletons that would come up at night from Hyrule Field would scare the shit out of me. I couldn't even play that game until I was in high school. That's how batshit crazy I am about not wanting to play scary video games. So that's just a little taste of why I held off on playing this wonderful series. It is a wonderful series. I would say my first scary video game I played through was The Last of Us. part 1. So that shit was crazy. The clickers and all that. But now I am a Resident Evil veteran. I've played all the important ones, question mark. The chronologically ones and Code Veronica, I guess. That was more of a, I volunteered to play that because it was sent to me and kind of out of spite to beat it, in a sense. So, work on it. So anything I say tonight is just my own opinion, and it is the right opinion because I am a millennial. I know video games real good now. What I say is right, and I'm saying what everyone else is scared to say out loud, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say what's on your mind and what's on my mind about these games. So, shall we dive in? I think we should. It's canonical and binding. What is that? Oh, that sounds very... I'm not a word teacher, but I like those words that I just heard. So no filter tonight, you're right. So I thought we'd start off with having like a little shot here. I got some Jameson. It's chilled. I wonder if a chilled shot's okay, but this tier list make has been a long time coming. So, and I know it's late. I wanted to start earlier, but I had some dudes work on my garage doors. I got new garage doors installed. They've been here since the afternoon, and now it's 9 p.m. So he worked on it for 9 hours. So thank you, Aaron. Did a great job. There were some old-ass garage doors. Thank you for the new ones. I wanted to start like an hour and a half ago, but we're working with what we got tonight, okay? So clink, cheers, happy Resident Evil-ing, yay. Oh, I hated that. I hated that. Does alcohol make you cry too? Does it make your eyes water? God fucking damn it. It just so happened around this time last year I was playing through Resident Evil Village. I remember wearing bunny ears and a bow tie and being chased by the helicopter zombie. It was very memorable. I need a chaser. Ah! And happy Easter, everybody. All right. Shall we dive in? I didn't really write down any notes about these games. I'm just going to spitball and speak from the heart. Like I'm giving my wedding vows, but to Resident Evil games, okay? So I'm just doing my best, all right? Let's see. This is how I made it. How's it look? Look all right? Okay, so here's the tier maker. And the game right below me will be the current one I'll be talking about. And I'll also be showing them off. Where is that one at? Oh, gotta read it. I actually just picked this up today. I finally have all the hard copies of the ones that I played. This is the first Resident Evil game I played. Resident Evil Biohazard. All right. The reason I started with this one is because it was free on PlayStation Plus. So, and I just throughout my time streaming, you guys throughout, ever play Resident Evil, do that? And Dan got on my case about Resident Evil, blah, blah, blah. So there was one day I was like, fuck it. I'll try Resident Evil. People like seeing other people get scared and try games that they like for, live vicariously through them. So let's just try it. Let's play it for funsies and see how it goes. So, started this game was February 7th, 2022. That's the very first experience. I remember going into it just like anxiety through the roof. I was scared shitless because you just open up and like you're in front of the house, open field, and it's daylight, but you're walking like around the house outside. And I remember just walking really slow and just being like, I'm just ready to get scared. Like something scary is gonna happen. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Oh, Simon, thank you. Supposed to have objectively wrong opinion. No, my opinion is correct. I'm a fresh mind. This is a fresh mind. I am over a year worth of a veteran of this game, okay? So Biohazard. I like that it was first person. The movements were good. I don't remember what year this one came out in. Probably like 2015 or 16. That's my guess. Somewhere in the late 2010s. Somewhere around there. And I say that this game was scary. With some of the other Resident Evil games, they weren't as scary. This definitely wasn't the scariest one. But I remember the scariest part were the Black Betties. That's what I called them, okay? The big black moldy boys. Fuck those guys. They scary. They crawl around like little fucking cockroaches and they pop up and they're like fucking 8 feet tall and they're swinging a solution their limbs and then you can cut them in half and it's scary as hell. And don't get me started on this family. This poor family, first of all, because, you're like, oh, you're a fucked up family. You're eating rotten food. That's why you're fucked up. You stole my girlfriend or something. Then the fucking girlfriend chops the goddamn hand off because she goes fucking crazy. She found something in the basement. She probably inhaled some Black Betty fumes and was like, ooh, I'm going crazy now. I'm going to cut off your hand. Ethan's all like, my hand. Hey, I'm just going to, staple that bad boy back on. Hope it works. Pour some water on it. Everything's fine. Modern day healing. So that's what was going on with Ethan. So we figured out the girlfriend. Oh, it's not her fault. This fucked up family infected her with some business. So now I gotta kill them all, and I gotta get out of this house and figure out how to save my baby. Or was that the next one? No, there's no baby in this one yet. This is pre-baby. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So you're going through this house. Big Daddy is walking through walls, chasing you, not even running. He doesn't have to run. He's just walking saunterly through the house, chasing you. That shit was scary. Didn't like that. So that whole thing where, like, you can't even kill him. You can't. I feel like I killed him 406 times. I ran him over with a car. I set him on fire. I fucking cut him in half and made him into mincemeat in the little fucking meat locker. This man didn't die. He just rejuvenated and became like a super Black Betty, but as a daddy, all right? So eventually he died. Then kill the mama lady. She turned into like a spider lady. It was very creepy. She was crawling on the walls. That was an easier fight. The next one, her son. He wanted to be like a Saw-inspired like producer. He was playing games and talking through TVs and making me do weird shit. I don't think you killed him. I don't think so. I think you're just like, fuck you, I beat your game. I'm just gonna do whatever. And then the fucking creepy grandma was at random places throughout the house. I should have killed her when I had the chance, but I was like, oh, poor lady. Like, she can't move, but she's moving places somehow. Someone's moving her. Turns out she's the biggest black moldy lady, Black Betty. She becomes a big old face lizard worm and becomes the house, and Ethan's like, wait, hold on. I gotta save the sister. The sister's fine. Yeah, the son didn't die. The sister's fine, but she's infected because I had to make a choice between saving the sister or my girlfriend. And I remember that I decided to save the sister of the family just because I was like, I felt like the obvious choice was the girlfriend. Is her name Evelyn? Is the girlfriend? No, it's Maria. Or is Evelyn the sister? I can't remember. Because I'm reading through here every now and then what you guys have to say in chat. Because that happened, and so my girlfriend was like, just don't talk to me. I'm going to stay here and give you the cold shoulder, but we'll end up married anyway. Then you kill the older lady because she becomes the house and the big worm thing, and you pa. Then after that, I think Chris Redfield picks you up in a helicopter, right? Mia is the wife/girlfriend, I would say. And then I leave on a helicopter, and I think I'm good. Yeah, I saved Zoe. Yep, Zoe, that was her name. It's been a while. Like I said, it's been over a year. So I think that's how I remember it. It's pretty scary, but I liked the combat system. I always felt like I had enough bullets. The Black Betty scared the shit out of me. The basement, man. Oh, fuck that basement. I never want to go back in that basement again. No, thank you. All right? So, with that being said... So S is obviously the best. A, second, third, fourth, fifth place. I'm going to just view it like that. It's definitely not the best one. It's also maybe not the worst one. And I may move these around towards the end as I look at it, but for now, I think I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to put it at a B. Now, like I said, it was scary. Black Betty's. The story was pretty good, easy to follow along. Like the combat. So I'm going to keep it at B for now. Starting with that, okay? Starting with B. Now, the next game. Resident Evil Village. Where are you? Where are you, baby cakes? Where's my village? There you are. Got the PS5 version of Village. Is the front... Is that... That's not Ethan. Like, who is that? He's turning into one of the werewolf boys. Who is that's not Ethan. That's somebody else. Is it just a man? A chosen man to become one of the werewolf dog boys? It's Chris? Chris Redfield? Becoming a werewolf? Why would Chris be on the cover? He's barely in this. He's in there for like 12 and a half seconds. That's not him. This almost looks like Joel from The Last of Us turning into a werewolf. I'm Zaddy, though. Still, the cover's pretty cool. I like it. So interesting. So is it Chris? You guys are lying. Chris has had so many different looks throughout the entire series that, fuck, I don't even know who he is anymore. We just know that he's just a hindrance at this point. So Resident Evil Village was the next one. Let's see. Where do I even start with this one? You're Ethan again, obviously. Opens up that you and Mia, you're all wifed up now, you got a baby. Then, boom, SWAT team comes in. They're like, shooting up Mia. Oh, they're gonna hit the baby. No, they didn't hit the baby. Oh, they kind of hit me, but I'm okay, question mark. They come in, they take the baby. And then I'm like, that's my baby. I'm gonna go find it. For some reason, it's in Scandinavia in this big old Dracula castle. So I forget the location of it, but drops you off into this village full of werewolf, leviathan. I don't know what the fuck. What do you call the fancy werewolf name? Lagooners? I don't know. What are... There's a fancy werewolf name. What am I thinking of? Help me. Lycans? Lagooners! I should call them Lagooners. Lycans, that's the fancy word for a beefy werewolf that's not full-on wolf, but just a man-wolf. That's a lycan. So it's a village full of lycans. And they were kind of scary. I felt like that game definitely gave you enough ammo. Like, I always felt like I was locked and I was ready to go light people up. So they were kind of scary. There was moments there. Go through the Lagooners village and you're just like, no wolfy time for me. I gotta find my baby. And you go through the village, and then that's when you meet Big Mommy Lady at one point, and her 3 sexy witch sisters, going on. Or those are her daughters. Yeah, those are her daughters. She's the mommy, then she has the 3 daughters. And we're just like, book me this Airbnb. I'm going to stay here for a hot minute. So she becomes obsessed with you. She becomes obsessed with Ethan. So do the daughters. They're like, ooh, we want his man blood or his manhood. And I'm just like, whoa, ladies, one at a time, okay? Just calm down. So they're obsessed with me. They're chasing me all out through this Dracula Airbnb castle. And I'm just like, these bitches be crazy. They actually want to kill me. I thought they just wanted to date me. Tickle bits hello. I'm seeing more people in the Avid Demon. Connie, Gant, yes, no, baby Joe, Neo's saying hi. I go on my tangents. Then eventually I kill them. I kill the daughters. Even though they're sexy, I'm just like, there's such a thing as coming on too strong, ladies. I'ma kill you, then I'm gonna take your desecrated bust and sell it to a merchant. Big Fat Joey, I don't know what the fuck his name is, but he was the merchant boy. The Duke, that's who he was. Okay, the Duke. And then after you kill... Well, I think the big mommy lady, she's the first boss that you kill because she turns into like super dragon lady. Like she's up there riding. She looks like she's like an outside little tonsil for this big old dragon boy. You shoot her up. She dead. But there was that one part where you're like in the little church and then... X-Man is there. He's doing all his cool stuff with his glasses. There's Creepy Doll Lady. And then Ugly Fish Boy. Or was Ugly Fish Boy the first boss? I can't remember. No, I think that was the second boss. He was obsessed with Mommy Lady. Which I get it. I think she was. Because I know like the goal for Ethan was to find his baby. He got kidnapped. So Big Mommy was the first boss. Ugly Fish Boy was the second boss. We just had to shoot him down. That was kind of... I don't think that was a scary fight. I think Biohazard was scarier than Village. Village was more like action-packed, And then the third boss was X-Man Man. I don't think you kill him. You kill one of his minions. Is that when Helicopter Boy zombie came up? That shit was scary. When he first emerged, I have clips of that where I'm just like, oh no, get the fuck away from this fucking helicopter zombie. I don't know how that worked at all. I don't know who put him together, but... goddamn, I don't know if he's running on diesel or just mayhem. Or both. I think he's running on both. But you fight him, you gotta make him run into a wall, and you shoot his back to make sure his electronic business gets all fucked up. So you defeat him, and then I think it's the Creepy Dolly that's next. Which honestly, that wasn't. Oh wait. Remember the baby? Do you remember the fucking baby? That was the scariest part. Was that fucking baby? Ah. Then, oh God, that was whoever came up with that design. My God, I want to give you a pat on the back and a slap to the face to make me see something like that. The fucking baby. It was fucking crawling at you and crying. Then I had to hide under the bed and it was looking for me. Oh, I'm just glad it didn't grab me. But when you're like running, you finally like get all the like the electronics together, and then you run to the elevator, and he's like fucking right behind you, and then you're just like hit the button, get that close the elevator, close, and then he's just right there as like oh God, I remember that. That was definitely the scariest part of Resident Evil Village. I don't know why that baby was made or who made it. It was supposed to be like mocking me trying to find my baby. And then lo and behold, I find my baby, but guess what? A part of my baby has been torn apart into parts in a jar. So I gotta go find all the peanut butter jelly jars full of my daughter, Rose, so I can put her back together like a fucking Lego set. It's fucking crazy. And then after the fucking baby is the doll lady. I think that's the doll lady. And that one wasn't bad. There's just a bunch of dolls floating around being creepy, like diving at you. Dolls don't really bother me. I feel like there's some people that have like phobias of dolls, and I'm not one of them. I'm just like, okay, no, don't bother me. I don't care. Let me see. Order is on the way. That's fast. That's a fast Taco Bell right there. Right there. Then he killed the doll lady, and then who was technically the final boss after the doll lady? Searching my brain, because you become Chris at one point, because Ethan, you find out that Ethan, he himself has been a Black Betty mold boy this entire time. That's why his hand ended up being okay. That's why he's resilient, and that's why he's okay. And he's just trying to find his daughter. And so, yeah, Mother Miranda, that's right. Does she turn into anything? Mother Miranda. I don't remember that fight. It must have not been. Was that when you are Chris and you kill all those fucking Lycans again? And it's like fucking Call of Duty zombies, but with Lycans, you're just shooting them up. You should, Jess. I think that would be a great tattoo. I think that's something I need to invest in. I had a dream last night that I got a tattoo, so I think it's a telling sign that tattoos need to happen for all of us. So you kill Mother Miranda. Does she become a big lady for some reason? There's a lot of big things in Resident Evil series, I've noticed. That's kind of like the common denominator. So you're Chris at the very end. I think Chris kills Mother Miranda? Is that how that went? I don't remember. Feel free to let me know if I'm right or wrong, or update me. Because I remember the final scene. You beat the game. I have put my Lego baby back together. Ethan is just decaying. He's just like becoming overwhelmed by this black mold. His clock is ticking. So he hands baby Rose to Chris and he's like, take care of my daughter. And he turns around and you still don't ever see his face. And he walks off with like this chaos castle going on. And Chris is just like, I understand. I'll watch her. Good luck. So I cried. I teared up. For those that were there, can confirm that I teared up. Like, that story hit me hard, and I don't know, the music or just like the ambiance of it hit in the heartstrings pretty hard, okay? Is it true for you that getting one tattoo just made you want more? Yes, absolutely. Technically, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 now. The new Skyrim was my 4th one. I want more. I just need to figure out what I want. Oh, set off a bomb. You're right. Oh, yeah, Ethan sacrificed himself off to have that bomb go off. Yeah, he himself is the bomb. Shadow of Rose deals. I've seen snippets of that, and it looked fucking scary. You have to, like, shine lights on, like, fucking mannequins running after you. Hard pass. I'm not going to spend my money on that. Hard pass. But that's my synopsis of Resident Evil Village. Not as scary as Biohazard. It had its one crucial scary moment of the baby. And, some things like, pop scares here and there. But everything else was a delight. Had plenty of ammo. Loved the story. Made me cry towards the end. I found it a very, very good experience. I looked forward to playing it. And that's what kind of like got me more into him, just like, damn, like, is Resident Evil like a good series? Like, you know, this isn't like the series I thought it was gonna be, but I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm playing. So, with that being said, coming back over here to tier maker, with Resident Evil Village, it's definitely above Biohazard. Is it perfect? It's not. It had just the right amount of scare, not too much. Had good story. Gave me plenty of ammo. I'm gonna put it here for now. I hear voices. They must be here. Taco Bell must be here. I heard a voice. Is it Resident Evil? I don't know what I just heard. I heard voices. Whispering. I don't know who it is. Well, I haven't had like a notification that they like dropped it off yet, so let's see. Dean Bullying! What up? What up? Welcome to the tier maker so far. We're 2 in out of 9 total that I played. Zombies? Question mark? Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, what a throwback. Oh, it's here. Okay, it is here. Let's go to a BRB screen. I'm gonna pick it up. I'll be right back, okay? I'm back. Look, with the Baja Blast Mountain Dew, they gave me like a Baja Blast Icy instead of the drink, which I've never tried before. Does it have alcohol in it? That's scrumptious. I like that. That is very good. And Taco Bell is here. I think I will get into it once we're done talking, yeah? Some Taco Bells do serve booze, but I think it's more like in Las Vegas and like the bigger cities, etc. But we are 2 games in. We got more to go. So what I played after fucking Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 1. This was my first experience playing an older Resident Evil game. I know it came out, what, on PlayStation 1 originally? PlayStation 2 back in the day? But your girl, being more modern day age, she got the PS4 version. That's the Origins Collection. It has Resident Evil 0 and also Resident Evil 1. Your girl only played Resident Evil 1. I am playing 0. I ain't doing that shit. I have seen too many doors open. I am so sick and tired of watching doors open. It took me 16 hours to beat this game, and 15 and a half of those hours were watching doors open. Big Wild Blue.
But the body's at the...
Thank you for the raid. We are talking about Resident Evil 1 right now and how many doors I had to watch open. Girl. I went into this game with an open mind. I think this was the first Resident Evil game where I was like, fuck this shit. I hate it here. I want to go home. I don't want to play this. But out of sheer stubbornness and just tenacity and a lot of alcohol, I beat this game in 16 hours. This game was somewhat nostalgic to me because I do remember watching Dan play it and the whole, like, you know, the scene where the zombie's eating the man, then he does this, he turns around. Is that the right one? I think I did it right. So he does that. I get it. That's iconic. Fucking took 912 bullets for them to kill. And you couldn't even, like, aim. You're aiming like this. And don't even get me started about the movement. It was like this. I'm gonna try to do it. Watch this. Hard pass. It was so blocky. There's no like red dot sight. There's nothing. There's no first person. You couldn't change the camera angle. It was set. So when you could like hear a zombie like down the hall, I can't rotate the camera to see where it's coming from. Or you just have to stand there and aim and just wait for it to come at you. And you had to shoot 1,200 bullets at it for it to go down. And when they're dead, nobody tells you to burn the bodies because they come back as red boys. They come back as red boys with longer claws, and they're like, hey, fuck you, motherfucker. You thought I was dead? Nope. Now I'm dead, but I'm gonna make you dead. And they chase you, and then fucking alligator boys come out of nowhere. You gotta shoot grenades at them. It was a whole to-do. And the story, Wesker starts out as your buddy in that because he's got the glasses. He's like, and everybody, you go in there with like a whole team, and everyone's like, hey, here's a good idea at the strangest place. Let's just split up. None of us should stick together. I don't care about stranger danger. Oh wait, now we all know that there's zombies there. Let's all stay separated. No teamwork here. Let's just all die, and then you discover it later, and then you're like, oh no, and then nothing good. Hated it. Well, hate's a strong word, but yeah, hated it. 16 hours of my life committed to that. Okay, I can talk about maybe some positives from this experience. Fighting the giant snake wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Was it scary? Yes, there were scary moments. Because there are times where there'd be like 5 like zombies at a time. I'm just like, how do I aim at all of them? How do I know they're gonna stay down? Because they would like pop out of the windows. The alligator boys ran fast at you, and they were strong. The red boys, that's scary too, because they ran at you as well. But none of like the main bosses, from what I remember, were difficult. Because I think that was the one where like you do find out Wesker betrays you, and he's standing in front of that test tube with like that big boy there. And the big boy like goes through his abdomen, and you're like, Wesker's dead. Wink, wink. Oh no, Wesker's dead. And then I killed that dude in like 2 or 3 grenade shots. So I'm like, okay, cool, good talk, bro. And the end of that game was when I got away on a helicopter. I think this sounds familiar. I think I'm doing it right. You still have the GameCube version of Resident Evil 1? I didn't know they did that. I just tried to keep it PlayStation. Let's see. Clip the movement. Oh, great, Jess. Thank you. Thank you for that. Love that for me. That's going to be good. I take great pride in my Jill impression of those movements. There was multiple endings. Oh, yeah. I think does that sound like one of mine? Going away on a helicopter, and I don't think I made like that mansion blow up or anything, and we're just like, fuck this Airbnb. We're leaving. Like a bunch of my buddies died here. Like, this ain't no picnic. We're gonna leave. But every time that I streamed this, I did not look forward to playing it. I beat it out of sheer stubbornness and just like commitment to the series. I'm like, I got the bad ending. God damn it. What's the good ending? I know that like Tim Turry beat it in like 3.5 hours. I don't know how the fuck you do that. Why people willingly play this more than once, I will never know. Oh, I want to do a knife only run. That sounds fun. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That doesn't sound fun at all. I got used to using the knife eventually, but like, and then you have to pick up everything. It makes you like watch what you pick up, and then you only have like 4 pockets for everything, and then you have to fucking check every item and rotate it and find things. I always forgot to do that shit. You guys always had to remind me. I was like, fuck, you have to check items to actually use them or to find another secret item within the item and then figure out where to put it. Oh, it was a whole to-do. You blow up Tyrant, the rocket launcher, and the mansion gets kablooey. That's the cool ending? I did not get that. I did not get that. Thank you. I did beat the Steam Bowling, so I appreciate your respect. You played it twice? You're crazy. 1,000 out of 1,000 this game? As in, like, you like it? What? I played the best Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 4 on GameCube and PS2. I feel like a lot of people play that way. We'll eventually talk about Resident Evil 4. But right now, this game on the tier list, D. Like I said, never look forward to playing it. I understand why people like it. I know why people like to watch doors open because it like builds that whole ambiance and like suspension and shit. Not this day and age. When I started this a year ago, I'm ready for like, hey, instantaneous. You know, let's go. Let's speed up this process, okay? I'm sick of watching doors. Don't want to watch doors anymore. Resident Evil 1? God damn it. Alright, now don't get me started on Resident Evil 2. It's basically as if like Resident Evil 1 was made in HD, all nice, updated graphics, and a different story. So I played as Jill in this. That was right, dear Jill. For some reason, people are obsessed with this game. Visually, it is very nice. The way that zombies look, oh my god, they look very much like zombies. They looked fucking scary. But even when I shot them 4 times in the head, they didn't go down. They were like the iconic, like scary ass zombies. I think this was the game I got the most scared in because the zombies, you didn't know they were actually dead when you walked by them or they were gonna wake up and then they would walk through the doors and be all creepy and shit. And the way that they looked, because your girl had a huge fear of zombies growing up with zombie movies, zombie video games, everything. So these zombies were these zombies that I hated because they scared the shit out of me, both visually and then they just come after you. Yes, I was Claire Redfield in this. God, I remember that gas station part. Like, oh God, you just like, you go into the back room, you get a key, you're just like, oh no, what happened? Then you like, and that fucking music starts and you go out there and you see the cop just raise up like this, and you're just like, oh, you're a fucking zombie, I'm gonna go this way, and another zombie comes at you, and you're just like, fuck! Who else getting taquitos in here because you all weren't here before? And you're just trying to get out of that gas station, they're coming through the thing, and you're trying to get out of there, and then Leon shows up, he's like, hey, I'm a new guy, I'm gonna help you, look at my hair, I'm gonna pop, I saved you, girl. Like, it's my first day. Is this a normal first day? And you're like, no, man, I'm just looking for my brother. And he's like, oh, I'm not your brother. And I was like, you be my boyfriend. And he was like, no, I only hit on people that I can't have. Well, I want you. Exactly. I don't want you, so I'm not going to hit on you back. And then you go your separate ways. Even though you both go to the Raccoon City Police Department. You go there because you think your brother's there. And you're like, oh, surely everything will be fine there. It's a police department. They got guns. They can protect themselves. Pew, pew, pew. The opposite. They got fucked there. They got hit hard. There's zombies running all around the outside of it. You had to zip zap and zob through them to get into the fucking police department. And then you get in there, and then some guy fella, he comes in, sauntering over, is like, oh, I'm really hurt. I'm gonna help you though. So like, I'm gonna chill here in the lobby. You go explore the rest. Good luck, man. Good luck. And I'm just like, thanks, man. Oh God, it was so scary. Like, it'd be dark. It'd be dark in places. And like, you could hear every footstep, you can hear every groan. And these zombies, you don't know if they stay dead or they come back alive like 12 minutes later. There's no red boys in this. They just lie. They lie about their own death when they're already dead, and it's fucked up. At least in this one, they don't make you watch the doors open. So I was grateful for that. And then fucking the lickers were there too. They were popping up out of mirrors, out of the two-way mirrors, and just crawling around everywhere, plus zombies. And then, oh fuck, Mr. X. You know, visually, he's not that scary. He's just like a big silver boy, looks like, you know, Inspector Gadget, but like yoked up. But you can't kill him. He follows you everywhere in that fucking police department. There's no way to avoid him. He's just walking at you slowly, and you just hope to Jesus that you get to that safe room real quick, because he's walking down those stairs coming at you. So that shit was scary. You can kind of like stun him sometimes, but If you get into a room that doesn't have another door and there's only a one way, then he comes in and he just fucks you up. I remember getting cornered by him and a liquor at the same time, and I was like, fuck this, I'm done, I'm retiring. Peace out, Girl Scout. Ugh. Mr. X, man, he was strong as hell too. He lifted the helicopter like a potato chip. So it was just his presence was scary. You know, you could hear his footsteps down the hallway. You're like, oh shit, I shouldn't go that direction. Nowhere is safe. Then eventually you go back to the lobby and your cop buddy that was hurt earlier turns into a zombie. And then you had to kill him, and it was very sad because I was like, oh, you're like the one, like kind of alive person here, and now you're not so alive. That fucking sucks. And then you keep going through it. Eventually, you're like, I've been looking for my brother this whole time, but fuck that. I'm going to help this little girl now because her mom here is not doing so well. Her dad decided to grow a big arm, and he kills Mr. X, like, because Mr. X falls into an elevator. Fucking elevators, right? And then Big Arm Boy's like, bah, I'm better than Mr. X, and kills Mr. X right in front of you. I'm just like, wow, you made that seem easy. Where were you, like, 2 hours ago when I was dealing with this for the first time? And then your job is to kill Big Arm Boy because you're in this laboratory, gosh, and all these fucking laboratory zombies, and it's like dark and you got lickers chasing you. Fuck that. That shit was scary. This was, like I said, this is the game that I was the most scared in for sure. And eventually you help this little girl because you forget all about your brother. Like, fuck Chris, he's probably off, you know, doing Chris things and chasing after men who grow their hands back and black mold Bettys, all that. So you just completely forget about Chris. And the end of the game is you fighting on a rooftop and you leave on a helicopter probably. I can't remember. But I beat that game. And I was so grateful when I beat this because I was like, finally, it's over. The torture is over. This game did not look forward to playing. It felt good to play. It was good mechanics. Like, it was good. And, like, visually it was good. How long did it take? I think it took me less than 16 hours to beat it, hopefully. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, yeah, I remember at the end of the game, people were like, okay, Kayla, you did Claire's playthrough, and I'll do Leon's, ha ha ha. And I was like, y'all are fucking funny. You couldn't pay me enough to play through that game again as a different character. Fuck that shit. Never again. You're lucky that I still even have the hard copy. I didn't even show the hard copy earlier. Neither did I. Here's Resident Evil 1. I had this one. Nope. Where are you, Resident Evil 2? There you fucking are. Bleh. Bleh, bleh, bleh. Sorry if I made you gag by making you look at this. I totally get it. So let's put it on the tier list. Now the question is it better or worse than Resident Evil 1? You guys are putting the wrong letter in chat. I'm put it right there. It's better than Resident Evil 1 because you didn't have to look at doors. Okay? And it was easier to figure out what to do quest-wise. So, you're lucky you got a C. I wish there was like a C minus. And this would be like a D plus maybe. Bleh. That's how I feel about that. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Say what you want, chat. I got my opinions and they're correct. Alright? Let me play fucking Spyro. Spyro's better than that game. For sure. Fucking love Spyro. You kidding me? That's a whole different story. Alright, next one I played. Resident Evil 3. With Nemesis. This was basically Resident Evil 2, but more kind of open world. Go out on the streets and go into different little shops and such. The zombies were the same kind of zombies as Resident Evil 2, but they were more manageable. I felt like it was easier to run around them, and you can use other environmental stuff to like stunt them, use electricity or explosive barrels and stuff. So I felt more confident fighting zombies in this one versus Resident Evil 2. And with Resident Evil 3, you'd think that I would be scared of Nemesis, but actually I'm not. Truly, I'm not. Like, he's definitely scarier looking than Mr. X. I didn't feel as scared being chased by him versus Mr. X. Because Nemesis would show up randomly, like, here and there. He'd, like, charge you and stuff. But, you can actually, like, dodge and do, like, cool things in this game. Like, the dodge was like, whoosh. So I just dodged his big old hooks, and then he would drop a briefcase. I'd pick up a thing. I'm like, whoa, an upgrade. Like, fuck you, Nemesis. Maybe it's because I do enjoy the Resident Evil movies. So I remember seeing Nemesis in those, and I was like, oh, I know that guy. I know him. So seeing him, I was like, oh, it's a superstar. Like, this guy's so cool. Like, how are you, Nemesis? What's up? Like, I've been following you. I've seen your movies. Like, you're a cool guy. Good for you. So it was cool to see him. I like him. All right, I'm sure I would love an origin story about him. I want to play through his perspective. Like, he's a cool guy. I'm sure he's got a story. Because in the movies, I don't know if the movies represent the games very well. I think it's like its own different universe. But like I said, I like the open world aspect. I don't think I really like felt scared in this game. There's that one like hot train dude. He got the shaggy hair. He was there with his other sasshole of a friend. He was like, girls can't shoot guns or something like that. And I was like, bitch, watch. And so I like shaggy hair boy. He was nice, but I don't think we ever saw him again in any other game. Carlos, yes, liked him. Cool guy. Jill looked great in that game. Like, Jill's always been a snack. Like, she just goes through different looks, but she's a boss-ass bitch, so I respect that. I can't remember if there was, like, any, like, big boss fights. You definitely fight Nemesis a couple times, and he transforms. Those boss fights were manageable. I think I did well, though. I don't think I died that much during them. There's a lot of action, like, I felt good about. I definitely felt like I had enough ammunition to work with as well, too, which was nice. Yes, there was, Neo. There was sexual tension. I thought you were about to say sexual tension between Jill and Nemesis, and I was like, you know what? Maybe. He's an assertive man. Nemesis is chasing after Jill, and Jill's just like, why are you so obsessed with me? Like, I'm dodging all of your shots, like, literally. And so Nemesis is like, girl, I got the riz, as the kids say. So that was what's going on. Was Resident Evil 3 where you had to go through that like chain link fence underground area where there's like those parasite things chasing you? You had to turn on like 3 power generator things. That was kind of scary and anxiety filled, because those things didn't stop coming. Little spider parasite boys. So I think that was in 3. I think that was, like, the most, like, unpleasant part about it. Because, like I said, like, killing the zombies was manageable using the environment. Okay, yeah, that was 3. Okay, I'm remembering, right? Because, now that we're talking about these games right now, they're a little bit fresher in my brain. Yeah, the vomit bugs, yeah. They love to vomit. They love to regurgitate. They must have been part fly. Because doesn't that how, like, flies eat? They throw up on their food, and they're like, no. They like that shit. There was that one animated show about flies on, like, Disney Channel or Cartoon Network. What was that? I'm getting off track here. But overall, wasn't that scared during this game. I didn't dislike playing it. I didn't yearn to keep on playing it and stream it. I was more motivated than other Resident Evil games to play this and beat it out of curiosity and just like, hey, this game feels good. Like, and I like Nemesis. I'm a fan of his. And Jill, looking good as well too. Love her. And Carlos too. So like I said, didn't dislike this. So let's see where I would rank this. Because I feel like neutral about it. So I feel like my neutral games will be like kind of right here. But did I like it better than Resident Evil Biohazard? Biohazard was more memorable. So I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put Biohazard up here now to kind of rank them. So Resident Evil 3, I'm giving it B for now. We'll see if that moves around. Dean Bowling, I don't know what Twitch streamer you're listening to, because I had nothing but negative things to say about Resident Evil 2. But Resident Evil 1 was worse. So I gave Resident Evil 2 the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Anytime she says something that's scary is a negative. Exposed! gross. Don't expose me like that, man. Being scared is fun, okay? I like scary movies. I do. But I don't want to say I dislike scary games. I like scary movies more than I like scary games. Because scary movies, I can do this at any time. I'm like, ooh, ooh. Scary games, you're in control. You have to run away from that scary thing. It's up to you. You have to experience it. Which people love that shit. They love to be immersed in that, like high suspense, survival horror. Woo! They love that shit. Not I. Not I. If anything, I feel like I'm just conditioned to it now, like exposure therapy. That doesn't mean I enjoy it. It just means I've gotten more used to it now that I've played over a year's worth of Resident Evil. So that's where I'm at right now with scary games. Plus, remember, I played Outlast 1 and 2. That shit was scary. You couldn't even protect yourself. You had a fucking camera, and you're running from shit all the time. That shit was scary. So at least with these games, you can defend yourself. But like with Resident Evil 1, limited-ish ammunition. Same with Resident Evil 2. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2. Going back to that, you did not have enough ammunition. Ever. 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 Resident Evil 3, I felt good. I don't remember being ever like short supply of ammunition, so it was all good. It was all good. Let's take a sippy here. This is going well. I'm saying what I need to say and what y'all are thinking. And then it's time for Resident Evil 4. Because the iconic remake is out now for PS5. And everyone's like, wow, this is the best remake ever. I can't wait to go through that village again and fight the little lord boy and kill mercenaries and man, Leon. Yippee for y'all. I played this a handful of months ago, probably, and they were getting closer to that. So, Resident Evil 4. I've already had experience with this game in the past. My brother, when he first played it, made me go through the village for his own entertainment. I think he had it on GameCube, and I think I was in high school at the time. That shit scared the shit out of me. I don't know if I successfully got through it. I think I got my head chainsawed off by a chainsaw boy. And then he made me go through the village again a year ago during spring break. He had me go into the basement with the VR headset, the lights off, first person, going through the fucking village. Did not make it. Did not make it through the village in VR. Did not. So then here I am, going through all the Resident Evil games, 4 is next, and I know what's in store for me. So I played through the beginning at least 2 times by now, so I knew what was in store for me. So with the village, I felt like I was mentally prepared, because you get there, you're there to find the president's daughter, fucking Ashley, and then, you know, these villagers are like, hey, we hate you. Why are you here? Your Airbnb is not here. We're kicking you out. Good charge. So they're chasing you for a good, like, I don't know. I think it's like 12 and a half minutes or 7.5 minutes, something like that. You just got to survive. So you just book it into one of the houses, push the thing in front of the thing. There's a couple grenades, shoot the ladder down. You run faster than them, so it was fine. So it's more a little bit of like, you know, capture the flag. I'm the flag. They're trying to catch me. I'm running. I'm zooming. So I made it through that on my first try, I'm pretty sure. It was anxiety filled because I knew it was expected. But then everything past the village was completely new to me. I didn't know what was in store next. I didn't know there's going to be more villages to encounter. There's going to be newer enemies. There's just a lot of angry farmers with pitchforks and hatchets they were throwing at me. I'd pop off their head and then a little alien boy would pop out and was like, that's not supposed to be there. And then he later learned from the super priest around there that's like running a cult. He's infected all these dudes with parasites that like parasites around their hearts or something. And then eventually you find, and then what are you buying? What are you selling? Love that guy. That was nostalgic for me because my sister and I do that shit to each other all the time. We're like, what are you buying? What are you selling? So we do that. Like him, so I forget the merchant's name, but love that guy. He's a delight. Helped me out a bunch. Only complaint I have about him, he should sell ammo. He should sell ammo. I think you'd get a lot more money that way. But they definitely give you a lot of money opportunities to, like, you know, find loot and shoot sparkly boys from walls and ceilings that falls. You pick it up. Oh, it's like a bedazzle gem. Wow, cool. Love that. So you get lots of money, which is nice. And he helps you out. Then eventually you find fucking Ashley. Like, I thought Ashley was like 12 to 14 years old the entire time. I hate any sort of mission where you have to, like, fucking guard somebody that's helpless and, like, you can't be your cool, authentic self. You'd be like, oh, stay back. So go fucking hop into a dumpster, Ashley, and stay there until I tell you to come hither. So I do that all the time, tell her to wait. Then she'll get picked up by the little priest men. She's like, Leon, help! Leon, help! Help! So when it comes to, like, you know, modern day age, you know, we're trying to be strong, independent woman. Ashley gives women a bad rap. She's like, oh, everyone's a damsel in distress. Or you can't hold a damn gun, Ashley. You can't kick someone in the face if you need to. You can't have a little knife, a little shink. No, you just gotta ask for a man for help. Help me, Leon, help me. I think she wanted that attention from him. Because we knew she was simping for Leon. I mean, who isn't? Who isn't simping for Leon? Leon's a good-looking guy. All right, I get it. He looks like an Abercrombie and Fitch model, so maybe that's Ashley game. She's playing the game to win that man's heart, but it was annoying as hell and did not work. All right? Anytime I got rid of her, I was happy. Then there's the part where you have to be her. All right? And you got all these suit and armor boys just chain chomping at her, and you're trying to solve puzzles and run away from other fucking men as well too. And you can't pick up a fucking, just like, you use one of the little candle holders and just whack. No, you can't. She's so helpless. She was just so annoying. I'm just like, you do not give a good rep to women, strong women. And I was used to playing as strong women in the past Resident Evil games with Claire Redfield. Come on. Getting to go play as Ashley, I was like, man, what a fucking downgrade. Fuck Ashley, all right? I definitely killed her a couple times. I shot her with a rocket, and this is the game where I first learned the importance of a rocket. I learned it the hard way. I have a clip. It actually went kind of viral on TikTok. It got a bunch of likes. One of my more popular videos on there when I used it for the first time. And let me see. Here, I can pull it up. I can give you a taste of that experience of what I went through. It's got a TikTok, got a profile. Where is it? It's one of these back in the day. I try to post at least every day. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Where are you? Hoo. There it is. Okay, it's this one right here. You ready?
It's a one-time use. I was so excited. It's gone forever now. No regrets.
Yeah. People in the comments were like, they were giving me shit for not having my organization in my suitcase all, like, pristine. I get the appeal of that, but that's just, I'm not playing unpacking. I'm not, that's not my shit. But yeah, I did not know a whole ass rocket launcher would disappear after one use, so I learned that the hard way. So went through that. Little Lord Boy kept FaceTiming me, and we kept shooting the shit back and forth. Same with the super priest, Leon has his good one-liners. Keep on having Ashley follow me, keep on rescuing her, fighting things, crawling around. Some pretty good boss fights. I like the mercenary island. They were shooting crossbows at me and a giant machine gun boy. Blah, 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 blah. So that was kind of fun and action-packed. Was that the one with, that was not Wesker, but is a different guy? What the fuck was his name? He grew a kind of big arm eventually. And you had a time limit to kill him. That was stressful. That was a hard fight. That one took me quite a few tries to, like, figure out. Because I had very limited ammo. Krauser. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck his deal is. Ada shows up in that. So I think that was my first experience with Ada. So she's mysterious. Leon has the biggest crush on her, probably in love with her, I think, at this point, with what I know now. And I don't know fucking Ada's deal. So Krauser, I think, was like working with Umbrella, but like a double agent, and was kind of like a Wesker wannabe. So I was just like, not here. We can't have any more Weskers here. Because Wesker didn't show up again in 2 or 3, did he? I don't think so. Wesker showed up in 5 and 6, I believe. No, Neo Zurg, you can't. Nope, never gonna play Resident Evil 2 again. So there's Krauser. You gotta kill him and be able to be within the time limit and escape some business. Then Super Priest, do you fight the Super Priest? You eventually, because you and Ashley are both infected, you're both eventually going to turn into, like, mini parasites yourself. And so eventually we found the cure. I'm like, I got my hit, and then, boo, there you go, Ashley. I guess we can save you too. So we save ourselves, then we kill the Super Priest. I forget how. Does he turn into a big boy? Probably. It's a giant bug with the eyes all over. That sounds right. He does. I think, is that where you had to like pull some things out of the wall to make it do a thing? Gosh, they all just melt together. You kill a giant dude with lots of eyeballs. Then eventually you have to escape on a jet ski. That took me a couple tries with Ashley on the back. And then that last scene, Ashley is hitting on you. She's like, let's take this back to my place now that we're doing fine. Leon's like, no. I'm not interested. I guess Ashley is 20, 21. But in the moment, I still thought she was 14. I was like, whoa. Leon, you made the right choice and said no. And so he's finally saved Ashley and then talked to a glasses lady on FaceTime and starts hitting on her. And she shuts him down. And he's like, fuck. And so I think he's just trying to rebound from being rejected by Ada and then him rejecting Ashley. It's a whole love triangle. Quadricle. I don't fucking know. Hunnigan, that's right. I need to know these names better. Surely I do. She never changed that sweater. I know, it was not a look. She looked like she was from like a private Catholic college or something like that. I don't know, but it was not a cute look. She could have looked better. She looked a little uptight to me. She wasn't bad looking. Of course, she was a cutie, but her whole like neediness just was like bleh, like swipe left on her. Time for another one. And then I'll put it on the tier list. My rant about Resident Evil 4. But overall, I didn't really ever feel scared in this one. I think the scariest part was those little spazzy electricity porcupine boys were kind of scary, but the village is always iconic. That was more anxiety based and like scared, There's a difference between fear and anxiety, and then they're in the same family tree. But yeah, not scared so much. I was more like, bring it on, I want to kill more boys and get money and stuff. Hi, Mom! How are you? I texted you back a little bit earlier. Mom, do you know anything about Resident Evil? I'm talking about it right now. You still at the lake? Yeah, Mom, if you don't know Resident Evil, you won't understand anything that I'm saying. I forgot that I see Baja Blast. That's okay, Mom. That's okay. Yeah, Mom, like, Aaron was here working on the garage doors for 9 hours. It's crazy. But I watched them open and close. They're all good now. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. So if anything else goes wrong, he said it just to hit him up. So, but I guess, like, part of my house, like, on the far right side, Mom, was, like, sinking into the ground, which made that wood pop out more towards those rails by the garage door rails. So that was part of the problem. So he had to, like, shave off some of the inside of the house from the garage to create more space. I'll have to show you. It's a whole thing. But Mom, I'm about to rank Resident Evil 4. Where do you think I'm going to put it? Looking at what I have right now. Question is... Definitely like it better than 2 and 1. Do I like it better than 3? I do. I do like it better. Actually, I don't know. I'm a fan of Nemesis. But the Village kind of brought up some bad memories. I need it to be like right here, you know? I like Biohazard better. Do I like 3 better? I know the story of 4 better. Something about 3. I'm gonna have to put it here. Alright. This means, with it being right here, it is above Resident Evil 2, but below Resident Evil 3. Okay? So that's what that means. Okay? Or would this make more sense? Because both of these suck, but this one's better than that one. Okay? So that's how it's going to be ranked. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th right now. Okay? Triforce, hello! I'm doing well. My week was long, but also pretty good. Very busy. And just, ready to judge these appropriately. So that's how it's looking so far. But we got more to talk about. Folks. Because the next one is Resident Evil 5. So, with this being co-op, played this with Dan, obviously. Resident Evil 5. Fuck. Okay. The story. Well, Jill is here. You're looking for her. Supposedly she's dead. Then you go to Africa or something. Is this the Africa one? This is when I was that one sassy lady with the cool armband. What was her name? Shiva? Shiva? Is that what it is? I don't know. All 18 characters join the battle and the mercenaries unite. Oh yeah, they had that online co-op thing. Hordes of enemies and versus. Oh my gosh, they had too much going on in this game. So, Shiva. Okay, so I was Shiva. Dan was Chris. So this was like the first game I actually saw Chris getting played in action. All right. And this game was fun. This wasn't scary at all. I never felt scared in this game. So we both had our fun outfits on. I was Shiva in a business lady outfit with glasses, and Chris was, spiked up Dune looking boy. This is where the boulder punching was. This is when we shot Wesker in the eyes with rocket launchers. That was fucking cool. But the entire story itself, this is where the swamp driving was, and this game was just really fun just because we got to play it co-op. The story itself, I think we were in the African part of the world because that's where black market T-virus is being sold. We're trying to stop it. Ah, gosh. There's a giant bug at one point that we fought. That was pretty easy. I don't remember having difficulty with any of the boss fights. The more memorable parts were just when Dan and I were just bullshitting and just being goofy and funny and just talking, So that's what made this game fun. But if I were to play this game by myself, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. So Dan made the experience enjoyable. So I feel I need to judge this game based upon the format of it, how the play style of it and the story, and try to imagine it if I was no, this was my experience with the game, so I should do it as my own experience. I did play a co-op. I had a blast with it. So I had a lot of fun with this. I also shot Dan with a rocket launcher. That was pretty fun. That's a one-time use too, but I chose to abuse that power, which was fun. And when we did the versus mode afterwards, that was pretty fun. Trying that out, seeing how that was it was a mess, but it was a fun mess. It was something different. I could tell the Resident Evil makers were trying to how much can we do with this? Everyone loves Resident Evil. Let's keep adding stuff to it. And we're just this is too much. Don't do that. This is not a Call of Duty game. Don't make it online. A lot of people aren't going to be waiting in the queue for this game. You just pop right in and start, and it is what it is. But yeah, honestly, I don't have a lot to say about it. Just like there's a lot of clippable moments because of just the silly bullshit that was happening. I always felt like I had plenty of ammo. There definitely wasn't enough pockets for stuff. There's just like an up, down, left, right, and middle. Or no, I think it's just like really just 4 pockets. And so you really had to pick and choose your weapon layout, like what you wanted to upgrade and specialize in. But the game itself isn't memorable, just the moments with the other person you're playing with is memorable. So that's why I am judging all these games based upon enjoyment of the experience and also the quality of the game too. Because when we're talking about quality of this game, not one of its hot and poppin'est games that they've made when it comes to Resident Evil. It's not one that like, ooh, make a remake of that. I prefer this remade versus Resident Evil 4. Like, ooh, nobody is saying that. This is not my favorite. I can tell you that much. But I've liked it above others. How does it compare to Gears of War game? When it comes to co-op, Gears of War is better. When it comes to story, playstyle, the action. This one, you know, it was kind of like there's a lot more. There wasn't as much action as I was hoping there would be. When the action happened, it was very actiony, but it was like a short amount of action. Like you just like, you know, you gotta pop, kill the boys, and you're fine. Solve a couple puzzles. That's it. Drive around a boat swamp. Get chased by alligators. But Gears, constant action, dialogue, story, character development, chainsawing through boys. Like, it was a good old chainsawing time. And this game was a good time, too, with it being co-op. I don't know if I have anything else really to say about it. So let's rank it. Let's see where it's going to live. I'm going to have to put it there and do this. So don't worry about like these levels. Just think of it like this: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay? That's how I'm ranking them. That's how I feel so far. It was kind of tough. Kind of tough here. Because it's a solo play. This is a long game, though. This was long. Fucking Ashley and all that shit. This game was just the right amount of time. Co-op-y. Bring the co-op back. Bring co-op back. Make it optional for all the future Resident Evil games. That'll be fucking fun as hell. Yeah. 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 I feel good about that. I switched. Here we go. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. All right. Just got a few more to go, folks. All right. So buckle the fuck up. Because now we got to talk about 6. Giraffe or seahorse receiving treatment. So that itself is quite funny and silly. Resident Evil 6. Apparently, there's like 5 or 6 storylines in this. It's too many. That is too many. But the logo is iconic, isn't it? Isn't it? So we decided to play through, Leon's story? Chris? Was Leon not even in this? That is Leon. Yeah, we had Leon and then sister lady that had the other sister, the sexy sister that turned into a sexy zombie lady that we had to kill. And then, of course, the action commands are fun. Come on! Nice. That stuff was fun. That's where we killed the president. We were framed from killing the president by Wesker? Wesker comes back? Was Wesker in 5? Can't remember what to do with Wesker. Thanks. That shit was funny. So with this being co-op, very, very fun co-op, but I liked the co-op experience better in 5 over 6. That's how I feel about that. Wesker's son. What's Wesker's son's name? Oh yeah, he turned into the Transformer Panther zombie thing, right? I remember that. Yeah. And then Ada shows up again. Was I Helen? Was that her name? Was it Helen? Something like that. That was her first experience. And she was there trying to help things out, but made them worse because her and her sister got captured. And then she meets up with Leon and they become a team. And then Helena develops a crush on Leon, and then she realized that Leon is really into Ada, and Ada's all like, I'm paying her to get, that's my thing. I'm gonna use my little grapple gun and get away. Ooh, watch me grapple away, Leon. You love that, don't you? And Leon's like, yeah, I do. Nice. So that's just how they flirt in that. So, and then Helena's like, oh, you love Ada. You love her, don't you? Even though Helena's feeling Leon, they'd make a cute couple. But it never happens because Leon is oblivious and doesn't like people that like him back. That's what's going on with Leon. He needs to go to therapy. He needs to figure out his priorities. His priorities should be romance, then zombies. All right? That's what it's about. But other than that, we didn't really struggle that much with the boss fights. And zombies weren't scary at all. Kind of clunky combat with like melee and shit. Yes, Deep Sea. That's what I'm in the process of right now. I'm down to the last 2 right now. So definitely had plenty of ammo. Oh my god, I had so much ammo. I felt like I never had, like, was empty on anything. Even when I was empty on one gun, boom, I had like 8 more guns that are like fully locked and loaded, ready to go. So I almost kind of felt like Left 4 Dead, but less hack and slashy, you know? Like less zombies on one screen, of course, but it's what I kind of felt like with just more dialogue and scenery going on. But co-op, like I said, was better in 5 than 6 when it comes to just like the fun co-op experience. Maybe with 5 it was more fun because it was our first experience with co-op. And 6 it was just like, all right, been there, done that. This is a less interesting story. All the shit going on. Let's just beat this. And we beat it within like 2-3 streams. It was a shorter game too, which I presumed that would happen since it has like what, fucking 5-6 storylines. But this game did not make me excited enough to want to play the route more than once with all these other different storylines. I had no desire. No desire whatsoever. Neither does Dan. And I don't blame him. So we're just like, hey, beat it. It is a beaten game now. We're done. Moving on to the next thing. So with that being said, with 6, I know immediately I'm going to put it right there. Right there. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. All right? So that's where it's at right now. Not a scary game at all. Resident Evil 6, not a scary game at all. So, this is looking like a good ranked list so far, all right? We just got one more to go. This looks very crispy, very chef's kiss, I'd say. You know, if you Googled rankings all time of Resident Evil games, I think this is what you would see, all right? Because we need to talk about the most recent one. Code Veronica. This game. This is the only PlayStation 2 game I have of Resident Evil. And I did not plan on playing this, but this was sent to me by Gimpand. I know he's not here right now. He's going to watch the VOD. So, Gimpand, if you're watching this VOD right now, which I know you are, I hate you and love you at the same time when it came to this. Because he sent me this. I felt a sense of duty to try this, at least try it on stream. So I did, and it hooked me. It hooked me for some reason. I had some PTSD, like I was back playing fucking Resident Evil 1, because I had to watch so many doors again and watch fucking staircases and shit, and the movement, the mechanics, the that shit was rough. So I was pissed off having to play a game that was like Resident Evil 1 again. But for some reason, I kept on thinking about this game. This game would creep into my mind when I wasn't streaming it, thinking about like, that game, Code Veronica. That's a game. There's stuff going on in there. The Steve guy, what a dweeb. Stweeb! He's sorry. He's sorry for all the bad things that he did. Steve was a character. He's very memorable. I hated him at first. I was like, who's this fucking dork? Like, he's a fucking Justin Bieber wannabe looking motherfucker. But then I started learning about his story. I know he was a criminal there at the fucking prison complex. Wesker is back in this one. And then there's this crazy blonde person that's in charge of things, like the father and mother died, and then him and his sister. Weird relationship, some Lannister-esque Game of Thrones things going on there. And you can just know that he's loved. He's like, I own this place. I'm going to shoot at you close range with a sniper rifle, and you're going to dodge every bullet. So he was a character himself, too. He was fucking bonkers. And then his sister would show up, too, and she's like, I have a sniper rifle as well, too, and I'm going to shoot you and miss you all the time as well. I'm running away now. You go off. So they would show up, brother, sister, and then you would see that weird video of them like being all like, their faces are literally like this close, like looking at each other longly. You're just like, oh, there's a red flag. What's wrong with them? And so the story, man, the story gripped me. This is the game, I finally beat this game last week. This is the most recent Resident Evil and the last Resident Evil game that I played. So it's very fresh in my mind. So you are Claire in this. You are. And I learned how to like wield the knife real good. I would swipe at the knees of the zombie boys and they'd fall, and then I would slice them on the ground. They would die. So I saved up a bunch of ammo. I had a bunch of help from you guys in chat too, because I know there's a part of the game where like if you don't have enough ammo or the right thing, then it just like basically blocks you from progressing. So I had a bunch of help from you guys, which I loved. Thank you so much if any of you are here right now. So very, very wonderful help from you all. And I always felt like the bow gun, I feel like I hardly used that. I used it more towards the end of the game, the beginning, but I ended up having like 400 plus arrows for that fucking bow gun. Got a shotgun, got a grenade launcher, a nice pistol. I never got scared during this game either. I got scared during Resident Evil 1, but never scared in this one. Maybe because I'm 8 games deep in. This is game number 9 of Resident Evil series for me. So maybe I'm just like, fuck you zombies. I'm gonna slice your kneecaps and then slice you some more until you're dead. So I was like confident going into it. And I definitely died plenty of times in this game. I did. And there were times where I was just like, this game is too long. Where the fuck do I go? Like, there's no clear message at points of what to do. So chat helped me a lot. But the whole, like, it's like a tug of war. Like, I was like, I hate you. I love you, ? I hate you. I love you, ? Because the story was so good. Because eventually the siblings, the dude, ended up fucking dressing like his sister and cross-dressing. So you're like, this guy's fucking bonkers. Like, he's delusional. I guess his sister's been dead for a long time. And then you think he dies, but he doesn't. And then for some reason you end up in Antarctica somehow. And you take an airplane there, you crash there. It happens to be a laboratory that's full of zombies. Oh, wow, what are the odds? Wesker shows up. Turns out the sister is alive. She's been in a fucking like test tube for 14 years, like marinating this parasite to make her all strong and shit. And the brother, once the sister comes alive, the brother's dying. He's been shot. And he's like, Alexia, you're alive. My sister dead. And Alexia's just cradling him, and she's just like, oh. I kind of care, but don't give a shit. I'm gonna move on with my life. She becomes a little tentacle lady. She's got tentacles going along. And then Steve is helping you out here and there. You eventually play as Steve. He's got his 2 bullet guns going on. He loves them. He loves his 2 submachine guns. And he saves Claire by this thicker looking zombie haunting over her. And then he's like hesitating. You're like, why the fuck is he hesitating? And he's just like, Father! And he shoots like 90 rounds into his zombie dad to save Claire. And Claire's just like, oh, Stweeb, that must have been so hard for you. Are you okay? And he's like, I need a minute. And then you go off by yourself. So with Steve is a very complicated relationship because you have these moments with Steve where like Claire was like sleeping and Steve would just like watch her. He went in for a kiss while she was sleeping. That's not okay. You can't give consent that way. So, luckily, Claire woke up before Stweeb laid his lips on her. I wasn't very pro the relationship because I'm like, Claire, you could do better. But as we progressed, the more that he was helping, the more I interacted with him, I was like, he's growing on me. You know what? Maybe they'd be kind of cute together. I don't fucking know. Maybe. But then, in Antarctica, Steve gets caught. You go and you find Steve all locked up in this little like electric chair with the axe around him, and he's like, get away, Claire, blah, blah, blah. Transforms into a big old alligator boy himself with a Steve face, and he's hacking and slashing at you. Fuck that part, because I died like 3 times and had to do like 20 minutes worth of work to get to that part again. He would slice you, you had to run away, you gotta heal, and you slice again, then you run, and then you get wrapped up by a tentacle, and like Claire's all wrapped up, and then Steve breaks through that metal fence, and he's like, oh, I got my big axe, I'm gonna fuck you up, Claire, because I'm a big alligator boy now, I'm gonna fuck you up. And he goes in, and he stops right before Claire's throat. And she's just, and then he's stopping, and his little alligator eyes is like, Claire! And she's like, Stweeb! And he's like, run, Claire! And he takes the axe and he cuts the tentacle arm. And then the tentacle's all pissed off, like, I'm less of a tentacle now. And then drops Claire. And then Steve gets fucking impaled. He gets impaled by the tentacle through the abdomen because the tentacle's pissed. You just cut the tentacle, so it's gonna impale you. So Steve gets hit and he's haunted against the wall. And he's like slowly getting back into like his human form, but he's hella pale. He does not look good. Claire goes up to him and is like, Steve, no, are you okay? What's going on, Steve? And Steve's like, Claire. And he like cups her face and he's like, I love you. And I was like, you don't even know my favorite color. How can you love me? I don't get it. What the fuck? But it was still sweet at the same time. It was like, Steve, like he grew on me. He grew on me like a fucking zombie parasite. He did. I was sad. That was a sad death with Steve. I wasn't expecting him to die. I wasn't. I thought we were going to make it through to the end and get married and all that shit, but we didn't. So Steve dies. And then you learn your brother, Chris, he finally shows up. Where the fuck has he been? He finally is introducing himself to his sister, Jill, for the first time, because Jill's been looking for him all throughout the second game. And now in Code Veronica, which happens between, what, Resident Evil 2 and 3, right? I think. So we finally see him. He's finally, like, worth something to Jill. And so you play as him, you play as her. Eventually, Alexia becomes like a super tentacle plant lady. You kill her as Chris. You also kill... That was a very easy fight. I shot her with like 2 grenades and she was like, ooh, and died. And then I was like, end of the game, question mark? No, JK, there's 2.5 hours left. And then the very end, I think she becomes a bigger plant thing, tentacle. I forget the very like end to end. All I remember is Chris and Claire flying off into the jet, being like weirdly like close with each other, like the way, I don't know, they talk to each other the way I don't think any sibling has ever talked to each other without like a red flag waving around. It was weird. So they finally got away from Antarctica. I don't know if a bomb went off or something. It's very, very, I don't know. It's going something. Did you play Code Veronica? Yes, Deep Sea, absolutely I did. The last couple streams I did. I beat it last weekend, so that's why I'm talking about it a lot more than the others because it's way fresh in my mind. But, fuck. Flying Ant Lady, that's right. Why don't I remember that fight? I'm going to have to watch the VOD. The VOD is still there, so I may have to watch the very end of it to recollect what was going on. But the thing about this game, I hated that I had to watch doors open again and feel like it was like Resident Evil 1 again. But it wasn't. The story was so much better. It was very memorable to me. I looked forward to playing it, which was weird. Steve grew on me, Resident Stevel. So I was surprisingly happy with this game. Even though when you watch the VODs, if you watch me stream this, there's many points where I'm like, this game is too long. Fuck this game. I'm sick of this. It was a love-hate relationship, this game. Never felt really scared at any point. It was more love-hate relationship. More the hate was that it gave me PTSD of Resident Evil 1. And the more love was the story, Steve, the progress of how the game went, and the antagonist too. Wesker shows back up because he wants whatever's inside of Alexia to become a more super Wesker, but she's like, fuck you, Wesker, I'm better than you. And Wesker's like, okay, you are, bye. And then that was that. It's the huge X part of the name of the game. Maybe the X here. Why is the X there? You learned it. I remember it tells you why it's called Code Veronica, because wasn't that the name of the grandmother of Alexia and fucking Alexia? What the fuck is his name? Alexander? Looking at the back of it. I see Wesker there. There's good old Wesky. Good old Wesky right there. Yes, and you literally have to type in the code Veronica. That's like the password, and I was like, fuck, I get it. It was a full circle kind of moment. So now I will rank the very last Resident Evil game of my tier list. I need like suspense music playing right now. Where am I gonna put it? What are my feelings telling me to do? Let me just reread all of this. Good night, Triforce. Let me see if this makes me feel confident. Yeah. I think I know. I don't want to move anything. So, first place, Resident Evil Village. Second place, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Third place, Resident Evil Biohazard. Fourth place, Resident Evil 5. Fifth, Resident Evil 3. Sixth, Resident Evil 4. Seventh, Resident Evil 6. Eighth, Resident Evil 2. And ninth, Resident Evil 1. This is my official list. After almost a year and a half of playing all of these games, this is how I feel about them. And I think if you were to Google the rankings of just Resident Evil in general, by the community, by the world, it would look a little something like this. Critter Gaming, thank you. Yeah. Let's see. I'd be curious what other people's lists are like. This feels right. It feels right. Everyone agrees? I thought so. Because I'm going to take a picture of it so I can send it to Dan later on. I told him I was doing this tonight. But wow. Yeah. What a journey. What a ride, y'all. What a fucking ride. This is it. This is the official list. They're all done. I have not played any more Resident Evil games. I think my Resident Evil journey gaming experience is technically over. Like, that's it. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Oh! That is the grossest thing I ever see come out of my body. Oh my god. What the? I almost kind of want to show... Thank you. I almost kind of want to show you... I don't want to gross anybody out, but this is the nastiest thing that's ever come out of me before. Oh my god. Okay, if you're squeamish, look away now, because this is what came out of my nose. This is nasty, right? Straight up nasty. And where did you come from? We still got one more to do, y'all. One more to do. But you know what? You know what we haven't done yet? Watch Rocky 5. That's what we gotta fucking do. Fuck this shit. Fuck this. Guys, we haven't even watched Rocky 5 yet. So, that's what we're gonna do next, okay? So you're gonna watch Rocky 5 with me. We have a watch party to do because we met that goal quite a while ago. So I gotta live up to it. So we're watching Rocky 5. And then maybe sometime I'll play Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm in no rush. So what's gonna happen now, I'm gonna end the stream for VOD purposes. So it's just strictly Resident Evil tier list, all that. I'm gonna stop this VOD and start up the watch party, see how that goes. It's been a while since I've done my own solo watch party, so we'll figure out that sound and all that stuff. So if you would like to watch Rocky 5 tonight with me, because I like that movie. Dan hates that one for some reason. Well, I kind of know the reason, but like, you know, that's his story. I have my own. So we're going to watch Rocky 5. I see some people saying good night already. Get a good night. It may be a small crowd of us, but I'm going to eat my Taco Bell. We're going to watch Rocky 5. And then, you know, maybe we'll play this eventually. We'll see. But Rocky 5 first. That's what I am prioritizing because this is going to be a long game. And then maybe I can redo my tier list. I'll save that. I will save that tab. I'll save that picture and see where this ends up on there. So here we go. End of the stream. Reboot it up for Rocky 5. Grab a drink. Grab a Dead Jill. Grab some Taco Bell. Grab a Baja Blast Icy. Stir it up a little bit. We're gonna watch Rocky 5 because that's something I've been meaning to do. I meant to do it last week after Code Veronica, but it took me fucking 6.5 hours to beat Code Veronica. Lovingly. Love, hate, like I said. So it was too late to do Rocky 5. So that's why we're doing it now instead of playing Resident Evil 4 Remake because my stream, my choice, right? Okay, end of this VOD. I'll see some of you or most of you in a bit. Stick around. Give me like 2 minutes. Maybe less than 2 minutes. All right?